Hey guys, and welcome. Thor is a character that has very tough skin in Norse mythology and in God of War and Ragnarok. His father Odin has never really been there, always talking down to him because he feels as though that's the only way that he can get through to him. And with Thor never having that father-son relationship others might have had, it resulted in overconsumptions of alcohol in his later years of life, leading to those close to him to resent him, and his daughter to really feel this towards him and just want the best for her father, but he's too far gone at that point. However, in this video, I wanted to focus it particularly on what happened to Thor within God of War Ragnarok, why he is the way that he is, and will he ever return in the mainline story again, potentially in the future God of War games. Eric Williams has of course confirmed that this is the end of Norse mythology for God of War, but just because it's the end of one mythology, it doesn't mean these gods can't make a return in the future though, right? I mean, Athena and Zeus were brought back within God of War 2018, and of course Ragnarok in the form of flashbacks to help fill the gaps in the story. I have a really interesting theory as to where Thor is and why I don't think that he's necessarily gone forever, and it does have to do with the mask. Now, check the timestamps in the description down below to skip to whichever part of the video that you'd like to, but I would suggest sticking around just so there might be parts throughout that you're not aware of, and it's just interesting to learn the lore of Thor, so why not? It would be greatly appreciated if you guys could consider leaving a like on today's video. Comment what you guys think down below, your theories and your thoughts around Thor, and we're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. So if you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, subscribe to the channel, why not, for more story content coming across gaming. It's going to be a big year for us next year. But without further ado everyone, let's dive straight in. Thor is widely feared throughout the Nine Realms for his cruelty, his violent temper, brutality, and sadism. He's utterly ruthless, showing zero mercy to his enemies, and his bloodlust was noted by Mimir to be the one thing greater than Odin's paranoia, and many consider him the worst of the Aesir gods. Despite being half giant himself, Thor took sadistic pleasure in torturing and killing any giant that he could find. His reputation was somewhat similar to Ares, who was considered the worst among the Olympian gods, and Kratos. He was feared throughout the Greece era for his genocidal act against the gods. However, in truth, Thor is a tragic individual, as he was raised by Odin to be the greatest combat asset and emotionally abused and warped into becoming unquestionably loyal, knowing full well that what he's done is far from being right, and he suffered guilt for the things he's done in the past as well, yet seeing no chance to change his ways and be better. What makes him different from Ares, however, is that he seems to possess a sense of honour, as he dislikes cowardice. When Modi fled after Magni in the first game, his favourite son died. Thor was enraged by this, and subsequently beat his surviving son for fleeing from Kratos, and deemed Modi a coward. He also somewhat cares for his worshippers, as when one of his faithful followers died, he made time to visit the family, although even then he still could be enraged easily, especially whilst drunk as we'd seen throughout the game, and even ended up taking advantage of his higher status when he was drunk too. In addition, Thor is extremely arrogant, typical for an Aesir, as he would go to great lengths to cement his reputation amongst the Nine Realms and be respected, as well as being feared. An example being the destruction of the village when Thor battled Thamor. Thor claimed credit of the giant's death and the village's destruction, despite the fact that Thor was merely lucky in both actions that Thamor just came across his path. To aid his reputation as one of the most hated and feared gods in the Nine Realms, Thor's cruel nature can come out even when he's trying to be friendly towards others. After a wayward spirit's father had passed away, his mother built a statue of Thor to watch over his grave. Appearing to the family, Thor offered his condolences for their loss. Although they were overjoyed at first with the god's presence, Thor took advantage of their hospitality and quickly became drunk on mead. Distraught, the mother asked him to leave, in which Thor responded by brutally murdering her in a drunken rage before leaving the son behind, who cursed the god of thunder. Despite Thor's dark side, he's proven to deeply care and trust his family though. Despite all that Odin put him through, Thor was blindly loyal to Odin for most of his life, and desperately sought to earn Odin's approval. He was close with Balder, comforting him in his depression over being unable to feel and trusting him with his life. Look, overall Thor has had a very difficult upbringing with a terrible father figure, wanting to always try and impress him never really being present, and when he is present he tries to do what he can to try and make him just notice him in a sense. Maybe the overall reason of killing these giants and the overall reason for Thor being the way that he is and not really showing any remorse is because he's trying to win over his father Odin. He's trying to get his approval. Thor and Sif made the mistake of sending Magni and Modi out too early when they were too young, resulting in Magni being dead and Modi being a coward and running away. They don't want to make the same mistake with the likes of Thrud. That's why they just won't let Thrud anywhere. That's why she's not gone out anywhere and she's still within Asgard. Thrud is like Thor and Sif's do-over in a sense. With Magni and Modi, they made the mistake of putting him out too early, whereas Thrud is their do-over and that they can take more time with it. Yeah, of course, Thrud is pushing back on that. Look, personally for me, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, everyone, on what you think of Thor. I think he's a horrible character in a sense of his personality, his cruelty, and just the way that he is, but Odin played a huge part in that. Maybe if Odin was different, Thor would be different. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Thor's backstory is very sad, and then to top it all off, to show how little Odin actually cares about him, Odin kills him without any hesitation because, in Odin's words, it had to be done. However, there's a theory put out there in the comments on my mask video a few days ago around what could have happened to Thor, and yes, he does appear to be dead now, but could he have been portaled to somewhere? Like maybe an ascendant realm? The crack that was created by the mask, the knowledge crack that Odin was so obsessed by, may appear into an ascendant realm of some sort, where the likes of Athena went after her death. If you notice in the Athena death scene in God of War 2, I believe it was, the particles were exactly the same, and exactly the same as when Atreus broke and split the mask into two pieces. Look, Santa Monica love to be very precise with their little secrets and Easter eggs here, so I would not be surprised if this had some relevance. Also, potentially, the gods of wisdom have some sort of access to or connection to this plane of existence, the Ascendant Realm, as we know that Athena is there, and in the Fallen God comic, we see Egyptians' god of wisdom there too, which would explain why Odin, also a god of wisdom, was so invested or intrigued by this. Somehow Thor could have ended up in this Ascendant Realm, and it could have been greeted by the likes of Athena and other gods of wisdom there too. Maybe even Faye's there, like the different plot twists that could happen in this scenario is absolutely crazy. Look, obviously the death particles for Thor at the end of the game were blue, so they were different, but if somehow Thor, Athena and other gods across the world and different mythologies all went into this one realm, the potential for them to return is way higher in the future. Look, I'm not sitting here telling you that Thor is alive running around because I don't think he is. Like, as far as I'm aware, he's dead and we all seen him die at the end of the game. He essentially evaporated and disintegrated and is completely gone. However, using Odin as an example here, Odin is fully gone. Odin's soul was removed out of his body and the marble smashed by Sindri. We physically saw Heimdall also be suffocated and killed by Kratos. Thor disappeared. But where to? I wouldn't write Thor out of the story straight away because for me, there's still a lot of unanswered questions relating to Thor. Look, Thor in Norse mythology is dead completely anyway, so this very well could be the way that he dies and the way that his story ends in God of War. However, I think that he will still be there in flashbacks or visions, like Athena and like Zeus was in the earlier parts of the games. However, these questions still remain a mystery to me. Why was he meeting with Faye in Vanaheim? Are they related? They both have the same features, both have fair hair, both have the same skin complexion. He's also half giant and so was Faye. I'm strongly leaning towards this being a huge plot twist going forward. Plus, Thrud now has the hammer. So could the new god wielding the Mjolnir be Thrud? As mentioned, Thor for me is, as far as we're aware, dead. But don't write him off straight away. I have a feeling he's coming back in some way or other, and I do believe he's going to play a big part somewhere in just filling in the gaps with maybe Faye or something like that. As far as I'm aware in the God of War Ragnarok story, we don't know much around what happened with Faye and Thor. All we know is that they had a meeting for somewhat, it ended pretty badly, and they destroyed the entire valley. But we don't know their relation with one another, we don't know their backstory with one another, so this is still, for me, Thor is still included in this story as far as I'm aware. Very, very interesting, but of course we're going to have to wait until the next God of War or the next story expansion or whatever's going to happen in order for us to find anything with this. But as usual, guys, in the comments down below, let me know everything that you believe. Is Thor coming back? Is Thor completely dead? What do you think has happened to Thor in this game? Do you think that he's potentially gone to this Ascendant Realm? Do you think this Ascendant Realm is a thing with the likes of Athena, the Egyptian god of wisdom, and even others as well? Let me know everything you think down below in the comments, everyone. This is a very good discussion I'd love to have with you guys. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. But I hope you have enjoyed today's video, everyone. Leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel as well. It'd be very much appreciated. If we can hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the month, that would be just crazy. But everyone, we'll see you all in the very next video.